Welcome to Tips from the Top with me, Jo Parry. Today, I've come to Shappendown Church of England Primary School in Cumbria. This is one of the top performing primary schools in the county. In this video, early learning teacher Vanessa Kelsall shares her top tips for getting the most out of school trips. How do you group them together for a trip?
I group them together myself, because if they choose their own partners, it's not always a good thing. I mean, it's nice for them to be near their friends, but sometimes if they're going to be silly together and you're going to somewhere potentially quite dangerous, you want them to be with children they're going to be safe with as well. What
would your ratio be on a trip?
I think it's one adult for every 4 children.
One adult to every 4 children, so that's really intense.
For the nursery, and then as they get older, I think it's 1 to 6 or 1 to 8.
Now, because of you being little ones, I would think that you're going to get lots of mums wanting to go on the trips and offering their services to you.
Oh, yeah, that's it. And especially at this school, we've got such a community feel. I think it's important for parents to be involved in the trips. So we usually try and welcome as many parents as we can. But also, I do say to the parents, would you mind not being with your own children on the trip? Because sometimes I know from my perspective of being a parent, behaviour is better if my child's not with me.
Yes.
And also from their point of view, if there was something happen on the visit, and they might automatically go and save their own child in the group.
Yes.
Rather than looking after the other children as well.
The medical side of things, I know it's something we do have to deal with and can be a bit time-consuming. What's your advice on that?
Well, you must obviously make sure you've got a qualified medical first aider with you on the visit, usually a member of staff, 1 if not 2.
And just an awareness of every single child, isn't it, if there's any allergies or all those sorts of things.
Always try and look at their medical forms.
And also informing the parent or helper who's in charge of that group, so they're aware.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the itinerary, because I know you need to keep little ones occupied all the time. In fact, even sixth form trips I take, I feel I need to keep them occupied all the time. Tell me about how you put the itinerary together for that.
Well, obviously after the pre-visit I had a clear idea of what I was going to do during the day. You know, you have to make sure everything's in short bursts for little children so they don't get too bored, but it keeps their interest. And it's also important in the middle of the day to give them time to let off steam.
Yes.
You want them to have a run round and get ready for the rest of the day.
The short burst, the place to give off steam, all of those things, Vanessa, I really believe that applies from when they're 4 until they're 18, I've got to be honest. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you very much.
My tips for this are, firstly, I think you need to reiterate the learning objectives with the students. You know some of them will have lost sight of those, so make sure they've got those firm in their mind and they know what they're heading towards. I think to give focus to the trip, you will need to put some pre-prepared material together. Be mindful of the fact that you're going to need differentiation in there for your students of different abilities, but also this is a difficult task to do. You want your students to explore, but you don't want them to lose sight of the learning objectives. So don't be too rigid, but also give it some structure. And then I think it's always really nice to have a member of staff, if you can afford to do this, that doesn't go around with a group. They're sort of a hub in your visits, and they will have times when the children can come back to them and discuss their learning, discuss the excitement about what they've seen, and maybe ask questions and answers, and that person will be really useful for getting them back on track again. And then finally, maybe on the coach on the way home, discuss with the students how the learning objectives have gone. Have they met those? What other things might they have achieved in addition? Get the excitement going, because you're going to need that excitement when you get back into the classroom.